Greetings, everyone. Can the people in the chat hear me? Because that would be good. That would be handy if they could.
Definitely.
Yes. So I'm getting advice on my music choices. I like the music, so there. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for being here. I'm PhD Tony. I hope you, hopefully, if you're here, you know all this. Let me just introduce the people I've got on tap. I'm going to start with the guy without whom this wouldn't have happened, who's Tatty Bogle. Thank you very much for producing this evening, or this morning, actually, for me.
All right, Trips, all right. Absolutely no problem at all, Tony. My absolute pleasure. As soon as I heard that you're looking for a wee hand in that, I couldn't not say, yeah, let me do it, please.
Right. Next on the list, and I'm going to go in chronological order. I'm going to start with Conspiracy Catz. How are you, sir?
Yeah, really, really well. And congratulations on your 300.
Thank you. It's gone up past 450 because people have not stopped being awesome, and I'm getting a lot of support from bigger channels like yourselves and Team and Fight the Flat Earth and the Shills, who are all sort of doing the job of plugging me mercilessly, which is very flattering.
Well, I bet oh, sorry, go on.
No. Carry on.
Well, I was going to say, I bet within a month, I'm going to say this now, I bet within a month, you'll be doing a 1,000K special. But not 1,000K, that's a lot, that's a million, isn't it? Maybe not. Yeah, I might have overstretched a bit there, but you know what I mean. A 1K. Next in chronological order is Krafty Keelah. Keelah and I started our channels on the very same morning. Along with Hugh, who has an invitation, but apparently 7 a.m. on a Sunday is a bit early for him. How are you, Krafty?
I'm doing well. It's 10 o'clock for me, so yeah, it's amazing to think that we started at pretty much the same time.
Yep.
I've seen you grow and I've seen you participate in streams, and it's just amazing. It's amazing listening to you. It's amazing having the opportunity to get to talk to you, because I'm one of these people who would never get the chance to talk to someone with a PhD in what you have without this community. And it's just, I love it. And congratulations, mate. I'm delighted for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And that's also what I love about this community, is that I learn stuff from you. I think you can tell when I start talking about persuasive techniques that I study what you say very, very closely indeed. And another person I admit to learning from is Team Skeptic. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Loving life. Enjoying my fucking Saturday afternoon, spending it with someone who I think is absolutely amazing and a blessing to our community. That would be myself. But you're nice too, though.
Okay, well, that's good as well.
As always.
And this is why I love hanging out with these people. But yeah, so Team and my first sort of appearance on camera was on Catz's, was being interviewed by Catz, which was sort of very eye-opening. It was a great opportunity to learn some stuff. But after sort of meeting up with Krafty on Mr. Sensible's channel, it was Team and Fight who gave me the opportunity to lose some brain cells bashing them against flat earthers. So thank you for that.
While we're talking about Team, Jessica G in the chat says, who backed up the shit truck and dropped Team Skeptic off? The dump is that way.
Ouch.
She's going to have a choice of targets. She's in a target-rich environment in this stream.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. Yes, we should let you in. But while he's getting in, I'm going to say I'm going to greet Dr. Clive Wells. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well. Now you're somebody well, would you like to introduce yourself? Because it's possible that a lot of people don't know who you are.
Yeah, so I'm a Cambridge mathematician. So I did a PhD in mathematics and theoretical physics at Cambridge, and I'm a fellow of one of the colleges now. So
Yeah.
I did a PhD in classical and quantum gravity. So I take an interest in the pseudo-deny gravity.
Yeah, it is quite fascinating, isn't it, that could ever be the case. But for people who think that I'm clever or that I'm knowledgeable, it's people like Clive who are quite content to lurk in the side chat, who I always think of as being real scientists in a sense. I always feel slightly intimidated that Clive is out there. I can feel him judging me.
Judge you? No.
And Hugh, we were just talking about you.
Everyone's always talking about me. How are you, Tony?
I'm very well, thank you. Keelah and I were just relating the story of how we all met on Mr. Sensible's channel on pretty much the same day, having started our channels.
Yeah, that was an interesting live stream, wasn't it?
It was a very interesting live stream. So yeah,
we're all children of Mr. Sensible.
Yeah.
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
This is a question. So you may not be aware of this, but I've come across some academics who talk about their genealogies, like who their supervisor was supervised by, etc.,
Yeah.
and tracing them back through history. Clive, have you ever heard of that happening?
Well, there's the mathematics genealogy project.
Right. Okay.
You can easily look up who was whose PhD supervisor and everything.
Yeah, and sort of create structures. So do you have an Erdish number?
I don't think I've ever looked it up.
Okay.
It'll be quite well. It's a little bit. It'll be a little bit involved because a lot of people in my academic ancestry were applied mathematicians. Mathematicians. But I think
right.
I think I might have looked it up once.
Right.
I can't remember.
So for that,
you know what yours is?
no, I have no idea. I probably in the high double digits somewhere. Just orthogonal fields, I think. But for those of you who haven't heard of an Erdish number, there was a famous and rather random Hungarian mathematician called Paul Erdish, who traveled the world. He was kind of a mathematical beggar in some senses, and was looked after by his mother for the first 40 or 50 years of his life. But he managed to sort of stick his oar in, and almost everybody in the mathematical community has an Erdish number, which is how many an Erdish number of 1 would be having co-authored a paper with Erdish. An Erdish number of 2 would be having co-authored a paper with an Erdish number of 1. Anyway,
so,
it's good.
A bit like 6 degrees of separations from Kevin Bacon.
Yes, exactly. Except the mathematical geeky version that nobody is really interested in. So
like 4 or 5.
Okay.
I think they're the gateway people actually, who
right.
wrote papers with lots of people, and
yeah. He was a really prolific author, and sort of famous enough to have his own biography and that sort of thing. Now, at the risk of sort of lingering on Clive a little bit, Clive, I noticed that despite having vast expertise in this exact field, you're not so keen on encountering flat earthers. Is this something you want to discuss, or? Because I feel guilty. You make me feel guilty by.
Well, I think what it said. I'm not interested in debating them or anything like that.
Yeah.
So.
No, leave that to morons like me.
You leave it to people like.
Get in.
Yeah. So.
How the hell did Craig get in?
I've got a skeleton key. It gets me into every stream that's on YouTube. I can just join whenever I want.
Boom.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being able to make it, Craig.
That's okay. Sorry, I'm a little late.
That's okay. I was giving you guys acknowledgement, but this is one of the points that I wanted to raise. Is sort of. So Clive, I think of as a very serious scientist with a vast amount of expertise, and I participate in these debates not so much for the purposes of meeting up, trying to convince the person I'm in the debate with. I consider it it's more an educational opportunity for the audience that's watching on to present. There are often a lot of arguments that will trivially just dismantle what flat earthers are talking about. It's just that the average person isn't aware of them. So if I can bring these up in a debate, then everybody watching the debate now has access to that and can take it out, and we can more effectively stamp this out. And you guys have been doing this for much longer, so I just want to go around. I just want to throw it open and see what you guys think about that educational perspective to what I'm doing. Am I just wasting my time here?
No, well, for me, right, it's fun, right? They're idiots and they're saying stupid things, and I'm putting them on parade for everyone to point and laugh at, right? But at the back of it, there is a hope that someone that maybe doesn't understand and is maybe leaning towards flat Earth will watch it and go, "Oh God, I don't want to be as fucking stupid as that." Maybe the flat Earth isn't right if that's how dumb the flat Earthers seem. And I hope that I know that I've saved some flat Earthers from being flat Earthers because they watch my debates and my videos. So yeah, it is fun and pointing at an idiot and stuff, but there is a hope that you are able to save some of the ones that could be dragged down that rabbit hole. And to have someone like you come on PhD, Tony, with your particular expertise is extremely good because you can say things in a way that a lot of us can't, with more authority and expertise and understanding of what you're saying, which is great. But I understand why a lot of scientists and stuff don't want to debate the flat earthers because, well, let's face it, there's no debate. We all know the Earth's not flat, right? And so why would someone that is really far in their field and actually, has a doctorate and stuff want to waste their time doing it? And I can understand that. And, in that case, cool, leave it to people like me and team to do it. But it's great if we can get someone with expertise to come on.
Yeah, I'd add to that, Tony, that you do it very well. And you're entertaining as well. It's quite amazing that your academics tend to be dry, but you're also entertaining. So it's great. And also, it harkens back to that stream where Krafty and you and I met on Mr. Sensible's. Straight after it ended, we all had a conversation, and I got my raison d'etre for doing videos from that. And the conversation ended up saying, look, there's a lot of people out there who are on the edge because of what you said. They're not aware of the argument. So they'll listen to the flat earthers argument and say, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense to me, because they don't know any better. And that's why it's important that debunkers have their channels so that people can know better and they can see that, oh, okay, yes, that is a load of rubbish because of this. And we're the ones providing this.
Yeah. Now, as far as the way I see it, Tony, and why I think you'll be successful, why I don't mind promoting your channel and, attaching your horse to my horses, is because if you look at the more successful channels that are in this community, and that would be, you know, Conspiracy Catz, Fights, my channel, Simon Dan's channel, Cool Hard Logic's channel, Dan's channel, Greater Sapiens channel, like all these channels right here, they are more than just a point and laugh channel. Anybody can make fun of a stupid person like a flat earther. It's making fun of the stupid person and explaining why they're stupid and doing that in a way that's coherent. I believe you do have that ability, and that's why I think you'll be successful, not just because you know how to handle the flat earthers, but you also know how to deliver the information in an educational way. And that's what drives people to be successful in this field. You have to have some kind of knowledge. You cannot just be just a point and laugh channel and grow to the size of Conspiracy Catz or Simon Dan.
Yeah, so Catz and Keelah, I'm interested in your attitudes, because you guys come from this with real experience in how to educate people. So I'd be interested to hear what you guys think.
Age before beauty. Go on, Catz.
age and beauty first. Okay.
No, that's Baldy Catz. He's not here.
You know what? I agree with you, Tony. I think you know, if I'm debating, I'd like to think that I'm not really interested in what the person I'm debating thinks about my arguments. It's just a chance to get arguments out there. And like Fight the Flat Earth said, FTFE now, sorry, name change. Like he said, you know, there'll be people watching who might be on the fence because they're interested in flat Earth, and if they can see, you know, the weight of arguments that you're putting forward and just how no response is coming back, that could influence them. But I think the people that are so far down the rabbit hole that you're actually debating, they need people in their own lives, you know, not figureheads, but like faces of the enemy on YouTube that they're talking to, because that'll, you know, that distrust is there. They need people in their own lives. But maybe if we're debating the people who are on the fence listening, you know, maybe they can pick something up. So that's my kind of view.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of know my view. I take it from running debating societies in university that it's never about who you're debating. It's never about who you're debating. It is about who's listening. For me, being on Mr. Sensible's channel, I came into this community in March. And Catz was the first creator I came across, and he introduced me to a hell of a lot of other people, obviously. But it was Mr. Sensible, because there's so much variety in this community, and Mr. Sensible gives an open door policy to people to come on and have a chat. Doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter where you stand, let's just have a chat. That opened the door for me to actually have a conversation. I had no desire, no intention to set up a channel or to do anything other than watch from the sidelines. And in the course of that conversation, when people were asking me to set up my channel, it was then, as Hugh said, we kind of all clicked. You know, the reason that the debunking community is here, the reason that it is important, is that these dangerous ideas, which lead to further dangerous and stupid ideas, they have to be challenged. And if they're not challenged, you're literally giving them an open door to vulnerable people. I've had conversations with people who are on the fence, or who has been in flat Earth for a little while and sat on like what I was doing in a sense, but on the other side. And having that conversation and saying, you know, it's okay to feel betrayed by your government. And for Flat Earth, that's where it all stems. They feel betrayed and let down by the system, and therefore the system is wrong about everything. So to have those conversations, say, yeah, it's okay to feel that way, but let's talk about sense. And why do you feel that? For me, it's always about the why. It's not about what. Because it could be, you know, aliens. It could be lizard people. It doesn't matter what the conspiracy is. You're never going to break it down to people if you don't understand why these ideas stick, why it is acceptable for some people to believe that the Earth is flat despite the 1,000+ years of research. If you don't understand the why, you can't get rid of the what. So for me, that's what prompted me to get involved actively.
All right, and I just so coming back to what I think is common to everybody on this panel is a degree of expertise in various aspects of education, science, and how to present an argument. And so I'm interested in your perspective on sort of what everybody just shared, Clive. How do you see sort of things? You normally participate via the chat, but do you see what we're doing as constructive, or how would you improve it if you had an opportunity to?
No, I think you all do a great job. I suppose, looking at it from my point of view, I just regard this as a bit of entertainment. I guess I'm not going to learn any huge amount of new physics from watching a stream like this. Although, then again, I do occasionally think about stuff which comes up in the physics, such as how would you actually work out the distance to the horizon? I hadn't actually figured out doing that. And so that sort of and that one of the things
You're fading away there.
You're fading away there, Clive. I think you need to focus on the microphone.
Okay, I'll just be a bit closer to the phone.
There we go.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like about the flat Earth stuff rather than, say, the Karen stuff, because with the Karen stuff, you're just laughing at someone, and there's no education, there's no physics or anything like that attached to it. So that's something I do like about it. Obviously, yeah, you will catch some people who are teetering on the edge of flat Earth and bring them back to the right side. I get the impression from the chat that most people are pretty much on our side anyway, plus a few first that come into the chat who will never be.
There is some people even on the Globe side that don't like what me and team and other debaters do. They think we're too nasty and stuff, and I can kind of see their point in the way, but the education part of it is important.
Yeah.
But if I could just comment on one thing you said there, Dr. Wells, when you said the Karen videos, there's not necessarily education behind them. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, especially if you look at Team Skeptic's recent videos. When he's talking about the Karens and the thing they're doing, it's mostly in relation to mask denial and things, not wearing a mask and things like that during COVID. And Team actually gives quite a lot of education as to why what they're doing is wrong and why it's important to wear masks, especially in the current climate that we're in. So even with the Karen videos, I think there is some level of education behind it.
Yeah, and also just to expand on what Fight's saying, I do actually try to stay away from the Karen videos that are just public freakouts. There's way more of those than there are of like the anti-maskers. I'm doing the anti-maskers right now just because I think it's a dangerous concept for people to be spreading. And like the video that me and Catz and Fight and all the other guys are working on, it's a fairly heavily researched video. I mean, it's a lot of science research. Yeah, and that's I kind of stay. I do want to not be one of those channels that just makes fun of people because they're being stupid. I like to point out why they're being stupid and break down the stupidity. And like Fight said, a lot of the stuff that I cover right now is anti-mask stuff, because I think it's such pseudoscience to claim that masks restrict your breathing or you're breathing in your own viruses at that point. I mean, all that's stupid. I'm not a doctor, and even I know that's stupid.
Yeah. Wait, you're not a doctor? Oh, unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe.
Yes, I definitely agree with you there. I guess I was thinking that that all those arguments are sort of pretty much taken for granted, and then we get onto the stupidity. Whereas with the flat Earth ones, or the flat Earth debates, what you're doing is you're taking each piece of evidence at a time and debunking it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now I'll tell you, I like to do the flat Earth stuff better. Because I'm just more of a mathematical and science inclined person. Like I've never gotten off on just making fun of somebody for holding a belief, you know. With the flat Earth, I don't really make fun of the people that just say, hey, I think the Earth is flat. Well, that's okay. You're an idiot. That's fine. Bye. You're not worth my time, really. It's the ones like Jeranism who say, oh, look at this refraction through this glass. And, you know, this is the refraction that we're seeing that's making the horizon look like it's dropping. And you're like, no, we don't live in a glass. You know, we don't live in the middle of a glass bottle with the horizon on the other side of the glass coming through the glass. I would prefer to call people idiots and explain why that way. But with flat Earth, it gives you that much. There's so much more opportunity to do that with flat Earth. I just wish there were more flat Earthers out there putting out stupid videos to cover.
Yeah, I mean, in relation to the Karen videos, I think part of the attraction, I know for me, look, we're all in lockdown. It's been a hard few months, and sometimes, I hate to say it, sometimes you just need that escapism. You know, you're locked in your house. Before I left the farm, I hadn't been off the farm since February. I had been there on that farm working every single day, 2 full-time jobs. You know, I didn't really have anything else. So to see when people are used to being busy and used to working 8, 9, 10 hours a day, it is sometimes necessary to have that escapism. You know, to see someone being called out for being that ignorant, because that's what it is. It's ignorance. It's
hilarious ignorance.
Yeah.
It's uneducated ignorance, but it's ignorance. And sometimes, because I hate to say it, I've seen Karens around my neighborhood. I've seen people do it. And it's that frustration. And instead of actually going at them and screaming at them, saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? Sometimes it is nice to see them on the screen and someone else saying, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, in my actual line of work, I actually deal with quite a few Karens over the phone.
Wait, you get Karens in the Iron Brew factory?
Yeah, believe it or not, they're ginger ones at that. But the beauty is, as I do have a kind of supervisory role, they beak off. Want to speak to a manager, want to speak to a manager. What they don't realise is they're getting me near the end of that phone. And believe you me, by the time they finish, they don't ask for a manager again.
No. Can I get a manager? But not that one, anyone but him.
So you cure Karens, in other words.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, very vociferously.
So this is, I do want to give a shout out because I mentioned all the experts I have on the panel, and there was one person I invited onto the panel who didn't accept, who I regard as an expert in her field, and that's Jessica G, who is one of the most expert trolls I've ever come across. So a shout out to her.
You can't talk about Jessica G when doing teams in the chat. He gets too upset.
She wouldn't come in. She wouldn't come in if she came in.
I'm crying right now just knowing she's looking at me, looking at my avatar.
Watching your team.
I think that, what disappoints me, so on the Shills the other night, they presented a video from, I don't know who she is, but she has a curious habit of pronouncing mask Myask.
Oh, yes.
And she was at the gym, refusing to wear a mask, and the gym owner was saying, "Look, you have to wear a mask, otherwise, we don't allow you to." And she was going, we're social distanced. Why are you worried? And he's gone, well, I'm not so much worried for me, but I'm worried for my mum. Well, is your mum here? No, but she's at home.
I just don't understand the virus work, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and you just but to me it encapsulated just the difference in perception. So here the gym manager is interpreting things in my mum could get killed by this. Whereas this woman is interpreting it through a completely different lens. And when we talk about sort of political dysfunction and an inability to sort of, have meaningful political discourse on a lot of issues, there seems to me to be this dichotomy, right? This just chasm between an informed opinion and a deranged opinion that is somehow growing more prevalent. Which is why I kind of think that coming from, I started trying to stomp down climate denialism. Actually, that was my big thing on YouTube, was to go through comments on videos and just try and stomp down climate denialism. And then I became aware that there are just whole vistas of denialism and derangement out there that put that in the shade.
You just described flat Earth.
Yeah, exactly. And so having become aware of it, I thought, this is a dangerous gateway drug into just bizarre conspiracy theories. You have to believe that, NASA has been lying to you, everything's fake, and
that's what I've said for years. For the 2 years that I've been into this, is that to be a flat earther, you have to believe that everyone's lying to you. Everyone of any education level, and anyone in government of any high level, every sailor, every pilot, everyone that's explored the world, they're all lying to you. You have to believe that the entire world is in on this massive conspiracy. And that is a dangerous way to think. Yeah, exactly. Every mathematician, because apparently...
We're talking to you, Clive Wells. Quit lying to the public.
With your mathematics. But to have that kind of thinking that, everybody is lying, that is dangerous, because then you will believe every conspiracy theory. Oh, well, everyone's lying. Maybe there is lizard people. Oh, maybe there is a hole at the North Pole that Hitler discovered and lives with giants in the center of the earth. Oh, maybe the Grand Canyon is what was left after the giants dug the moon out of it and turned it into a magic bauble in the sky. It's crazy. And if you believe flat earth, you can believe anything else.
Well, that's it. And I think you said, everybody's lying to you if you believe in flat. And to believe in flat earth, you've got to think of all the organizations that would have to lie to you and all the people that would have to lie to you for the earth to be flat. But then those same people, like you say, they believe, for example, that the coronaviruses, viruses aren't real. So then you add to that, sort of like all virologists are also liars. They might believe in money. So the historian, they're liars as well, the cheeky little fellas. And every conspiracy then gets added to it, and literally you look around, and when you combine all the silly beliefs together and conspiracies, like you say, every single person in the world is a liar.
Yeah, and that's why one of the reasons I push the narrative that if you teach kids flat earth, that is literal psychological child abuse, because to give a child that way of thinking that everyone is lying to you is going to screw them up on so many levels. So I'm unashamed. I don't apologize for saying that if you teach your child any flat earth narrative, you are psychologically abusing that child.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask Clive another question. So for me, if someone believes in the flat earth, they kind of have to believe that our understanding of trigonometry is wrong. Our understanding of optics is wrong. Our understanding of quantum mechanics is wrong. Our understanding of relativity is wrong. Cosmology, geodesy, astronomy can just get thrown out. Their seismology is wrong, and not just slightly wrong. They're all just complete bollocks. So they're basically trying to rip down the edifice of science as I understand it. Would you agree with that assessment?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're basically just science deniers and mathematics deniers, and I don't know how you can deny mathematics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's totally illogical, it's impossible.
Okay.
But I think they do it for psychological reasons.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no logical reason to do it. So it's all to do with their view on the world, and they're not interested in ideas which contradict those views.
But then you get people like Brian's Logic, who he literally said to me that he's the only one in the world that understands actual how to do surveying. All surveyors are wrong. If they don't agree with him, then they are wrong. What do you think about that kind of mentality, where they're so convinced that they are right, that everybody that's ever studied it in the world has always been wrong?
Well, I think that's all they can say, isn't it? They have to take that view because it's the only way they can keep hold of their beliefs.
Yeah, and just to expand a little bit on what Dr. Wells was saying, last night, the guy exactly you just described the guy last night that we were talking to. He says he said that Fight was wrong because Fight was using spherical trigonometry. And I said, well, explain to me the basic concepts of planar trigonometry. You know, let's not jump to something harder than what I don't think you understand to begin with. Because if you're telling me that he's wrong because of spherical because he's using spherical trigonometry, then you would have to explain to me what that is and how he's misusing it. Because if you can't do that, then you're just parroting something else. You're not actually, you're not intelligent enough, you're not educated enough to understand what you're even saying. You're just saying something someone else said.
Negative.
Can I bring something up? Because he's not here tonight, but Creaky Blinder had, I think, one of the best moments that I've ever had on any of these debates and any of these discussions, because Catz was who was it? It was Boomy, wasn't it? You were debating.
Oh, Boomy.
Yeah. Boomy was insisting on proof right here, right now, demonstrable proof. And Creaky just turned around to him and he said, "Right, can I just ask you, how high is your dome? How high is your firmament, or whatever the hell you believe in? How high is it?" "I don't know." "Okay, you don't know. What's it made of? Is it glass? Is it this? Is it that?" So
With
internet dropped again.
Yeah. So he says you want him to show you right here, right now, exactly what you want, but you can't do the same. And you can't prove the same, and you don't know how to prove it, or if it is even provable.
Yeah.
Just put him down so beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and that's part of the asymmetry, right? That allows them to sort of get away with a lot of their. I can only describe it as cognitive dissonance. They seem to understand some stuff, and then they just refuse to understand other stuff.
Well, one of the things is they want to hold any evidence that you present at a much higher standard than any evidence they present.
Yeah.
And for instance, when I was talking to Spurs recently, and he went on with the claim you can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum without a barrier. So I showed him the inside of a tokamak nuclear fusion reactor, 10 to the negative 11 torr with highly pressurized ionized gas next to a vacuum with no barrier. And his response was, "Well, I didn't put my hand in there to check it was a vacuum."
Jesus
Christ.
For a very good reason.
Even worse than that, the other day when Catz was talking to Broomy admitted he had no evidence whatsoever of the flat Earth, and yet he insisted it still existed.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think the best thing actually about that debate was your victory over Broomy and getting him to accept that asking for gas pressure next to a container was the wrong question.
I think, but I feel a little bit like when he got in touch with me, he was like, "I'm not really a flat earther," or I got in touch with him actually because somebody had said someone's after a conversation with you, and I got in touch, but he said, "Oh, I'm not really a flat earther, and I'm kind of like tentatively looking at it." So I thought, well, we'll have a conversation. We'll just have a nice chat. And then as soon as the debate finished, like he ran off and he was like, "Oh, I've just crushed Catz in a debate." I thought,
"Oh God."
Yeah, a little bit cheeky because you wanted a bit of a chat. You know, like I could have done the full kind of Catz versus Nathan Thompson routine on him and humiliated him, but I didn't. You know, I had a nice chat with him, and then he run off and like claim sort of victory. But
that's flat earthers all over Catz, though, isn't it? They will, try to play chess without knowing the moves, knock over the pieces, shit on the board, run away and claim victory.
Well, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what happened. But it was funny. It was funny. But bless it, he's coming back. Sorry.
No. Carry on.
No, that really was it. He's coming back on it. He said he'll have a few weeks to learn some.
Well, Catz, how about I come on and debate him?
We don't want dumpster fires.
I don't have to. I don't have to make it a dumpster fire. As I have shown many times, it depends entirely on the flat earther how things go. But I can behave if I need to. But after watching you debate him, I know exactly how to shut him down.
Yeah.
If only you were as modest as I was, or I am.
Yeah, you are the most modest team. I know this.
He's always telling people how modest he is.
Yeah,
it just organically comes up in conversation, like it just did.
Speaking of modest, we did have someone sneak in there.
Yeah, I see. That's one of my favorite people to watch.
Yes.
And you're muted, Big Blue. You need to unmute yourself.
Big Blue.
Okay, I'm unmuted now.
Hey, Big Blue.
God, that voice just puts me just gets me ready for anything. I'm ready to take on the world now.
I finished. Just one line. That's all it took. God,
I'm still waiting on the audio.
I know. I'm working on it. I really am.
I actually right. So me and Pip were kind of drunk one night, talking to Blue, and we were having a laugh. And someone said to me that I should record audiobooks, and I was like, "No, it's Blue you want recording the audiobooks because his voice is just amazing." So still waiting.
How to change an alternator. That's what you need to start making fucking auto mechanic guidebooks.
Just read the dictionary all the way through. I'd listen to that.
I would too.
You got it, thing. That's exactly what I'm qualified for.
I just think you should be doing Motel 6 commercials or something. You have
we'll leave the light on.
Really, just say that. Oh my God, you did it. Hold on. I did not mean to talk over you while you said that. Please, sir, would you repeat that?
We'll leave the light on for you.
God damn it, you're an
Blue,
amazing
can you just
man.
do me a favor and say Pepperidge Farm remembers?
Oh, I don't think I can do that. Nope.
Go on.
Nope.
Can you do? Can you say for me? Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, there you go. Anybody from the South knows what that means. Knows why. There you go.
I know it's a slap in the face, but that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Now the panel's complete. This is
bless your heart is that similar substitute. Really is almost exactly the same thing as all bullshit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Bless your heart.
Now Blue's here. Similar. I need to ask the panel a question in general. How do you guys feel about the fact that you've murdered Flat Earth? Do you feel guilty at all?
No.
Not a bit. Not for a split second.
Oh yeah. I love watching your quantum racer stuff, man.
I don't think that Earth was dead before I came on the scene. I'm just in to explain it.
Oh yeah, at the moment, Flat Earth's only alive because we let it be. Once we're bored, we might let it die.
I think I was explaining this before the stream started that I think sort of the unwillingness of or the dearth of flat earthers to sort of come out and engage in open discussion is due to sort of the very effective countermeasures that are now in place. There are a lot of very effective communicators who are here to squash down the stupid and do so really, really well. So I kind of think that they seem to me to be huddling more and more in their echo chambers and not getting out.
Oh yeah.
Can I really bring up one little quick comment. Surf in the chat just had the best comment to put Catz, FTFE, and Team Skeptic right in their places. Back. Oh, and Blue is here. Finally, getting one of the big names on.
Hey.
Yeah, with
Well,
all
I'm
the
rather
modesty, with the modesty between me, Catz, and FTFE, when they're talking about the big channels, they're talking about the egotistical people. So that's kind of what they're talking about. So that was really a compliment towards me, Catz, and FTFE. So thank you.
Oh, not those who are large in size like me.
No. Large egos, like Big Blue over here.
Oh, I don't have any. What?
Oh, with that voice, you can't have a small ego with that voice. You walk in the room and command respect.
I have no ego. Hey, I don't even have an ego. I've been thinking about
That's
getting one.
exactly what someone with a huge ego would say.
I've got a PayPal. If I could buy an ego, I might go get one.
Did you see the joins that he made on his Cavendish apparatus?
I've
Because
been watching.
if I'd made something that goddamn cool, I'd be crowing about it every day. So I'm pretty sure Blue doesn't have that big an ego. I think you may be wrong here, team.
Someone actually said to me, because I think I was
modest to be wrong.
I think I was Blue's first member. Big Blue has membership on his channel. Go check it out. And I've been watching all of the videos because I love it. Someone actually went so far as to call me a stalker, but no.
Hey, Blue Marble, how many subscribers do you have right now?
I've got 6,500 or something like that.
Tony, listen to me when I tell you this. You could be the next Big Blue. He is on his way to being something much greater than 6,500, just like you're on your way to being much greater than 500. He is the type of person that you are. He has like an excellent delivery of information, but he's also very educational. This is what makes him stand out from other content creators, is that it's not just point and laugh with him. It's not just show how dumb their arguments are. It's to show it with actual demonstrable science and evidence. So, and you can do the same. You're in that position to do the same. So looking at somebody like Blue as a good person for you to model yourself after, to take some of the things that he does and grow from it, make it yourself, find your own little way of doing it. But you have the same, you're set up already. You're set up, and Blue's set up to be the next conspiracy Catz, and Catz is on his way to being the next Sidan. So,
Sidan the boss.
Sidan. Oh, hold on. We got to tell Catz why this Sidan thing is going on. So the other day, some freaking person in the comment section of my live stream gave me the great idea to call CC because he puts his phone number out there. So I called
Chester County.
Oh, that was.
Oh yeah. So I called him and he answered. And I was like, "Hey, Team Skeptic." And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm not. I don't want to talk to you guys, okay? I don't want to fucking talk to you guys." And I'm like, "Okay, well, hold on. I'm just trying to have a conversation. Don't hang up yet." So we started talking for a few minutes, and he's like, "Look, I'll come on and debate, but the only person I'll debate is Sidan." And we were like, "What? Why?" I was like, why is he the only person you'll debate? Like, we have lots of great people in this community that would love to talk to you. And he's like, "Well, I'm only talking to your leader, okay? I'm only talking to your handler." Like, he was convinced that Sidan is like, we're all paid conspiracy, like we're all paid government officials, and Sidan is our handler.
He's the leader. He's the boss.
He's the leader.
What the exact words he used was, "Sidan is the source, and I want to go to the source."
Yeah, I want the source. Sidan is the source.
I was hoping you were going to say, "Can you please pass the phone over to Mrs. CC?"
I want Mrs. CC on a stream because she hates CC as much as us.
She's listen, Dr. Wells, listen, just for you, okay, just for you, I will call him, and when he starts to deny me again, because he will, I'll tell him that I'm still working on Sidan the source, but for right now, I want him to come debate me. And when he says no, I'll say, "Well, can I speak to Mrs. CC, please?"
That'd be great.
And I'll do it for you because you wanted it to be done.
That's right. It'll be your fault, Clive. It occurs to me that I am a terrible, horrible, worthless person.
Well, we know.
Because I have not given a shout out to Doctor Who did all the graphics, who has done all the graphics for the channel, did the intro and the outro and all of that fantastic stuff, and the thumbnail for the live stream this evening.
Which Doctor is he?
Well, the Doctor Who designs. There will be a link to his channel.
Which Doctor is he?
I don't know.
We haven't seen yet.
His avatar is actually remarkably nondescript. It just consists of a D.
Team loves a D. I'm sure he can figure it out.
He says he's the 10th Doctor.
And we all know it's not Doctor Who, it's Dr. WHO. Okay, come on.
I just want to give a quick shout out to AB Science, who's also in the chat, and he says Team Skeptic wants to talk to Mrs. CC, i.e. the manager. TS is Karen.
Yes,
I am the manager. A Karen. I'm a plastic Karen. Wow. Can't wait to tell my mom.
That's a pretty cool observation by AB Science.
All right, you better talk to Teddy because he cures him.
Yeah.
What? Only when it's in my power.
It's a good power to have.
It is a good power to have. You're one of the. I don't know about Clive, but there are times where I'm watching flat Earth content or woo content, and I just feel, I can feel my blood pressure getting higher because that is the most idiotic stuff. And then Tatty is allowed to speak, and then I feel that's what I wanted to say right there. Yeah.
How could you tell?
Dr. Wells, have you ever heard of a channel called Dissident Science?
No,
he likes me.
Hey, Dr. Wells, I'm giving you new funny material to go watch because this guy is super serious. But I haven't really covered him because it would be something only people like you would appreciate. But go check out his channel. He thinks photons don't exist. He thinks special relativity is wrong, general relativity is wrong, photons don't exist, chirality is nonsense. It's great watch. But that's some of the stuff. I wish I could cover that and make it entertaining, but there's just no way to make it entertaining because it's completely technical.
I guess the thing is, I would rather watch someone debunk them rather than watching something like that myself. I generally don't go to flirt channels and watch what they're putting out. I much rather see it via a debunking channel.
Yeah. Well, he's still on my radar.
Okay.
And maybe I'll do a video on him still.
Well, the other day I got I had the privilege of doing a debate along MC Toon against Hip Hop Hippie, and we got to the end of the debate, and MC Toon insisted that it had to be a structured debate. Everybody got a fixed amount of time, and arguments, counter arguments, and it went reasonably well. But at the end, he just threw out this line about atoms not existing, and just what? Come again? I just, as sort of with a couple of questions, it turned out that he just didn't believe that atomic energy was a thing, didn't believe that atomic weapons were a thing, didn't even believe that atoms were a thing, but he could be convinced that X-rays were a thing because he'd had one. And you're just thinking,
atomic energy isn't a thing.
Atomic energy isn't a thing. It can't
Someone
be a thing.
should tell the people that gave me my degree.
Yeah. It's
what was I working on that was powering the submarine I was on?
I don't know.
But you're all
Compressed
conspiracy,
thoughts.
Craig. So
Yeah, compressed
yeah.
air, I think.
Must have been compressed air. Wow, it's amazing. Atomic energy doesn't exist.
I just wanted to step back to a point that was raised earlier. It's no coincidence that Catz and Blue Marble Science are on this stream, because when I started getting into this, they're the two sort of most efficient science communicators. They've got kind of different styles, but I'm a scientist, but I don't necessarily consider myself a skilled science communicator. But I think that Blue's ability to conceive and implement a really simple experiment to just blow away a spurious flat Earth objection, and Katz's ability to explain a concept clearly, concisely, and with a healthy sprinkling of goofy humor that just appeals to me, makes them both, people I wish I was as good at in terms of science education. So, it's one of the things I mentioned at the start of the stream, how I'm learning a lot from the people who are already in it. But you two, just wanted to say to your faces while I had you both here, just how much you guys were what inspired me.
here.
Wow. Well, I wish I had a PhD, is all I can say. So I'll swap you.
If I could press your wife.
I'll swap you.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Catz. Yeah, thank you, Tony. Absolutely.
Oh.
I have to make it simple. That's the only way I can understand it.
But you make it so simple that I don't understand how anybody cannot understand it. That's
the thing, though, isn't it? We can explain it till the fucking cows come home, but we can't understand it for them.
Yeah.
Lead a horse to water.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about that, Clive, in terms of the skill of science communication in this, in sort of this community?
I think most of the bunkers do a brilliant job at communicating things, but it's the people.
Clive, you're drifting away from the microphone again.
But the people that we're talking to just have no interest in learning. So it doesn't matter how much you explain, how really brilliant your explanation is. They have their own agenda, which is to deny it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, what you're doing, I mean, it was said earlier, you're really making those videos for other people, not the person you're particularly addressing in the video.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, this is broader. So this probably feeds more into your speciality. I'm actually quite impressed with Team's mastery of relativity and quantum mechanics. He makes me feel. I just received a question in the chat that I don't feel qualified to answer, Jessica Mills. You should consult a medical professional about that. Her question was, what should I do if I just puked a tick off my balls? I don't feel qualified. But anyway.
I mean, extra protein, just, eat it.
I guess. But anyway, I was in the middle of praising Team.
Sidetracked.
And that just threw me for a loop. So she meant picked.
Yeah.
Regardless. Okay. Anyway, have you been as impressed as I am by sort of the technical skill that Team brings to bear? Because I think he does present a lot of technical information.
You're obviously not talking about when he uses paint, though, right?
Obviously not.
Or tries to whistle, to be fair.
I love Team whistling. Team, give us a whistle.
What do you mean you love Team whistling? He's never done it in his life.
Team, I can hear her. I have special hearing. Team, can I have a whistle? Now look, you scared him off.
Team, are you there? He's run away.
No, I
The
hear
cat
you.
has got him. The cat has got him. I knew one day the cat would get him.
But anyway, the question to the question to Clive still stands.
Yeah, I've been really quite impressed with how Team's been explaining some of the relativity and quantum. Although, of course, he'd be too modest to admit how good he is at those subjects.
He's the most modest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Team's really there. It's just that he's whistling.
Oh, right. No, the problem is he's got his monitor too bright, so we can't hear him.
That would be true too.
Right.
Going-
I've got a question for Dr. Wells, if you don't mind.
Sure.
What do you think about people like JM Truth who claim to have qualifications and a mastery in physics, but clearly struggle with basic concepts like tying their shoelaces?
Oh, I think exactly the same as you think about them. I mean, it's unbelievable, really, and I don't know.
He once told me that he is the only authority that can talk about physics because he has a Master's of Science degree, which I remind people is in making pamphlets.
Yeah, pamphlet making degree, yes.
Yeah.
It's
Who was it? Hold on, it's in the chat. Who was it on? Or he might be still in the chat. There was someone on Mr. Sensibles who had a video talking about, because they run the Flat Earth University or some shit, and yeah, seriously, and claimed to be a teacher, which I anyway, they had this thing on their channel, a video, basically explaining who they were, and I have a degree in science, in art.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
talking about.
Hugh
mind
was
that one.
in discussion with that one. With that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, because
He asked to have a chat with me, and then I passed him on to you.
Yeah, that's right.
he was looking to debate someone on agree to disagree. So I see Catz is back. So just have a look out for, I can't remember his name though. Hang on, actually, because I have the message from Colon. But yeah, he has this video explaining who he is and the fact that he has this degree of science in art.
Yeah.
Degree of science in art. It's amazing.
Yeah, I find
isn't
I find it very
Is that-
strange because when I was at uni, you could do science subjects in an art degree, but you couldn't do it the other way around.
No, and I'm wondering how they, why they're labeling. So he's clearly got training in fine arts. He's a painter, and one of his technical thing is, well, I understand perspective. Yeah, good for you, but that doesn't mean squat. That isn't a science degree. So I don't know why anybody would award him a science degree.
His name is Kyle.
Right.
I'm trying to.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Kyle Adams. Kyle
Can
Adams.
you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can now.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can now.
Oh my god, man!
He stopped
I
whistling.
installed something. I was installing a driver, and it changed my default communication device on me. So y'all asking me to whistle, and I'm like over here whistling, and y'all are talking over me, like I can't hear them. I'm like, yeah, y'all can't. You gotta listen. You gotta listen. And it was like so perfectly timed. It was so
There you go.
perfectly timed that it almost seemed as if y'all had begun to listen to me try to whistle. And then it was like, yeah, I don't hear him. He must not be there. I was like, what? This whole time I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. And then I go check my settings. And I guess when I put that in, it just immediately changed all my defaults. So I had to go back and change them. I apologize.
Before team gives us a whistle, Conspiracy Cats, do have a look out for Kyle Adams, because I would love to debate him on anything. On anything. Because he deserves to have his ass handed to him.
That name rings a bell, Kyle Adams. Yeah, has he got some kind of website of Institute for Science or something?
Yeah. Yes, that's
he
him.
emailed us. He emailed, but I thought it was some kind of spam because he left a link, and I thought, oh, he's some kind of like spamming kind of because his email was that incoherent. I'll be honest. I just thought he's like, I don't know, he's leaving me some dodgy links, so I just deleted the email. But I'll go back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad
Posted that link in his.
Yeah,
He
I'm
posted
glad
that link in his comments as well. So
he does. But Clive Adams is his, Kyle Adams is his name. Team, can we have a whistle?
he's been doing it.
Come on, team.
The corgi's been going mad.
Team, have you muted yourself again? Because we can't hear you. And we're not joking.
Yeah, I was actually muted there, guys. But I'm unmuted now. Okay, so yeah, last night I made very close to a whistle because my cat turned its head and looked at me, and it wasn't the normal like "what the fuck are you doing" look. It was like, "What? Like, are you calling me?" So maybe there would look. I swear I was whistling and my dog came over here just now. It's getting better, guys. I don't know if y'all heard him wagging his tail just now,
Team,
but
dogs are the only ones that can hear you when you whistle.
that's fine as long as we do one species at a time. Okay, we got through dogs. We've now made it through cats. I'm gonna bypass frogs and we're gonna go straight to humans. Okay, so here we go. All right, like I'm gonna look at my dog and act as if I'm whistling to him because he's starting to walk off.
That's not whistling.
Yes, it is. Hold on.
No,
hold on. Let me turn my volume up a bit.
no, you don't
So you
need
can really
to.
hear it.
You blowing louder.
Who did that? Stop that, Krafty. Whose dog is barking? It's working.
It's the corgis.
Every dog in my neighborhood's now barking.
There's one right there. You hear that?
There you go. You got it. You nailed it.
Yeah, see? But my dogs aren't doing shit right now.
I think I'm going to have to step in with a confession. I can't whistle either. Never
Intelligent
have,
people normally can't.
and I don't care to display my disability publicly the way team does.
It's fine. Team can take the brunt for both of you.
We're a
Okay.
protected class,
You're
Tony.
getting
Okay,
it.
we can do anything we want on the internet, and nobody can say shit to us. We just all I have to do is write Twitter or write YouTube and says, "Hey, somebody's bothering me about my inability to whistle." They will immediately demonetize the entire channel and remove the person from the internet.
That's okay. I'm not monetized anyway, so I'm good. You are getting. You are getting. This is why I don't stream on my own channel. I don't give a fuck about being demonetized because
You hear
when
that, Tony?
I do live streams, everyone comes on and curses anyway. So I do it myself. So it's not going to be monetized either way. But practice
know
makes
what?
perfect. Team.
The
Practice makes
cursing doesn't make a difference. I'll
No.
tell you that much. It doesn't. Everybody that says cursing, they do have a profanity filter and a profanity. Like if you cuss excessively, like I do, you probably have to go through an extra stage of getting your video monetized. But all my videos get monetized, and none of them are ever demonetized because of cussing.
No. And tell
Alright.
Demon that because Demon keeps making the assumption that it's because he's cussing. No, it's because he's an idiot.
No, teams videos usually get demonetized because they see his face. And I mean,
Yes.
you can't put that on the internet. It's not right.
Yeah, the images of Satan, they just do not like those, and that's how I come across in the algorithm.
So we've come to the end of the time that I allotted for this. I didn't want this to go for too long. I just wanted to give a shout out to the creators in the panel, all of whom I deeply admire. But also to the people.
Before you go on,
in
can
the
I say
chat.
that as someone in the community, we're glad that you have joined the community, Tony.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I enjoy surrounding myself with people that are smarter than me, apart from team, obviously. I have to make exceptions every now and then. But having someone
Gotta
like
get
you
that community
with your,
service some way, right?
Yeah, having someone like you with the expertise that you do and the knowledge that you do is amazing. And thank you for becoming part of the community.
Here.
Exactly.
It needs of people like you to be heard loudest. You know, people like you and you know, Dr. Wells and all that. But it's your voices that need to be heard the loudest because you know, like, I mean, what you've forgotten in the past week is more than I'll ever know. So that's you're what you know and what you do is so valuable in it that, like, you know, I say your voices need to be the loudest in this community.
Yeah, so AB Science says that his video got demonetized for mentioning Bukaki this week.
Now that will get you demonetized. And that's
AB Science video.
Yeah,
I want to say something too,
direction?
because I want to say something that AB Science is not on this panel tonight, but he's another one of those creators that absolutely deserve more than what he has, because
Absolutely.
he is one of the smartest people in our community, guys. Y'all may not know this about him, but he is absolutely one of the smartest people in our community. And just like PhD Tony, we're just blessed to have you here. So thank you, AB Science, for everything you do. He'll be on my video, my next video that comes out. It's going to be a really, really long video. He has a part in it with Conspiracy Catz and the rest of the guys.
I know he's working so hard at the moment, and he has deadlines. And everything else. And I mean, this guy works so freaking hard. It's insane. But AB, if you are free, I hope to see you on the Silly Shills in a few minutes. We're starting in about 15 minutes. And for me, when I came into this community, I was invited in to the iNetwork, and I'm happy to say I love it there. It just, you know, Tony, you've all been on with them. Blue is one, Tatty is one, and it's just such a welcoming family. I am going to announce a little thing real quick, other than the Silly Shills is starting in 15 minutes, so I have to leave. We did and someone that needs to be mentioned as well is Clapperjack. Clapperjack probably came on to our pub chat, and usually the pub chat is very, you know, it's kind of a chill night where we talk about whatever is going on, and Clapperjack risked incarceration really by talking about what happened in Belarus and what's still happening in Belarus. And it was incredible. It was an incredible night. So if you haven't watched it, please do go back and watch it, because it's just an incredible thing. But from there, me being a sociologist, we are going to start a new show where we look at not really current affairs, but we go into the history of how society has gotten to the point that it has. So taking countries like Belarus and the conflict that's there, and just having a general chat about it. So that's in development at the moment, and I'm absolutely delighted to be part of it. So keep an eye out. And of the challenging conspiracies that I've been doing, that's still going to be done, but I am moving the challenging conspiracies over to the iNetwork. So again, if you want to see those videos, that's where you have to go for them. I will be putting up content on my own videos because I have some exposés on a few people that I need to do. So there will be content on my channel, but a lot of it is definitely going to be on the iNetwork. So with that, Tony, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm going to jump off because I have to jump into my own stream. And guys, I loved being here, and I love you all as creators and just people. So thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Bye, Crafty. This is
Love you.
Thanks for coming in, Crafty. Yes, you go off and do your shill thing. Thank you very much for coming on the stream. I really, really appreciate it, and always enjoy being on with you.
Crafty, you need to cover what's going on with the Muslims in China, since you're talking about social issues.
The Uyghurs,
The history
it's
of
an
that
important
is-
topic that needs that needs to be talked about worldwide.
Yeah,
it's basically a genocide.
That is one that will be covered, definitely, and how they got to that point is going to be covered as well. So, it's an exciting. Well, I don't want to say it's an exciting new venture, but it is going to be an interesting little sidetrack, because we're all used to watching point and laugh videos, especially on the iNetwork. We are trying to bring in some more serious content because it is about education as well, and this is my form of education. It's social, it's interactive. So, yeah.
See you, Keelah.
Bye. night, people.
See you.
Have a good one. Break a leg.
You're the best, girl.
Yeah, take care, Keelah. So yeah, I just one last question for Clive. I feel like I've learned a lot from Keelah about the social context of learning and how people can pick up and cling to these toxic ideas. And I find it valuable in sort of understanding how to deconstruct them. Is that something that you've sort of grown an awareness of?
I don't know really. The teaching I tend to do is at a university level, and
Yeah.
they don't have the same issues as the fluffs and the like that you're talking to. I think it's a whole different setup really, with them. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was sort of amazed when I first came across the community that Flat Earth just wasn't a joke and a spoof. That was my immediate impression of the thing. The fact that people believe it struck me as incredible.
Yeah. It is absolutely unbelievable that in this day and age, where everybody's carrying around a GPS receiver in their phone, that could be that they could persist in this belief. But which is kind of why I stepped in. Thank you so much, Clive, for being on this evening. I really appreciate you being here. Again, you're one of the voices.
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be a 300 live stream. What, you're up to 450 now?
Well, and I don't feel I was that slow. I kind of feel like you guys have made me look bad by joining so quickly. So, but I really, really appreciate it. And the subscribers really, you guys are, as Team and Fight keep on saying, you guys are the reason, are a huge reason why this is worthwhile. It's you just create the incentive to make good content and to help people. So thank you all very much.
Pleasure.
Yeah, we may be past 500 or so in the next hour. We're already up to 473 or something.
Awesome.
I just wanted to go around the panel and say thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you, team.
Yeah, well, thank you, PhD Tony and Dr. Wells. I appreciate the kind words that y'all both had for me when I was having mic issues and not able to respond to tell you thank you. But I did hear what you guys said, and I do appreciate that. Not sure it's good for my modesty. I might need to go do some self-reflection for a bit to put me back in place to keep me centered and grounded. Conspiracy Catz
on the After Dark channel.
What's that? What's that, Dr. Wells?
Tell you how much you suck on your After Dark channel.
Oh, these guys, man, they love to give me. You think they're intellectuals because they talk intellectually up here, but you listen to them talk to me through Chatbot Lady, and you'll change your mind about both of those guys. Conspiracy Catz and FTFE, both of you guys, y'all know what y'all mean to me, and it's a pleasure to see you guys and hang out with you guys once again.
I mean, you're all right.
Blue Marble. Well, that's why I said you both know what you mean to me. Conspiracy Catz knows that I have a man love for him, and you know that I fucking can't stand you. But yeah, but again, I do. It's always a pleasure to hang out with some of the greatest people on earth, and I do feel like FTFE and Conspiracy Catz, PhD Tony, Blue Marble Science, and Dr. Wells. I think you guys are some of the greatest people on earth. Hugh Jarsz and Taddy Bogle. MEH. MEH, man. No, it is. I do.
I'm going to go cry now.
Yeah, I bet. Yes, life goals. I that's another box checked on my my life goals list. So, but thank you again, PhD Tony, for having me on, and I'll pass the rest of my time to FTFE or whoever you would like to give it to, PhD Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
This
was
is not a
going to skip.
debate.
I was going to skip to Hugh. Thank you so much for being here. Sort of my stepbrother, foster brother, one of Mr. Sensible's intellectual offspring.
So if Creaky is Mr. Sensible's son, so does it make us his brother?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Though it would be brothers.
The thing is, I've
Yeah.
never seen Mr. Sensible, Conspiracy Cats, and Baldy Cats in the room at the same time, though. They all look very similar. Similar hairstyles, anyway.
They do, but then again, so do I. When I'm a bit bushy at the moment, but I've got a very similar. Yeah. I like the way that I can make. I'm not on my laptop at the moment, but I can make the brightness on my laptop camera change just by tilting my head forward slightly. Yeah, so it amuses me great.
That angle of attack, I guess, is happening.
Yeah, that's right.
With your light.
Yeah.
And some refraction. But thank you for having me. Congratulations on your nearly 500 subs now.
Yes, thank you very much. And I am hoping to do a collaboration with you in the not too distant future.
Yeah, so do I. It'd be great.
So,
we've got to think about that.
Yeah, we do. Blue, thank you so much for making the time to be here.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Tony. I mean, it's a real pleasure to be here with these guys, and it was the guys like Team Skeptic and Fight the Flat Earth and Conspiracy Cats that they inspired me to do what little I've done. I think their work is just absolutely exemplary, and it's such a pleasure and honor, really, to be able to be here and talk with them. I think we're all pretty much the same in one respect. I have no interest in talking to someone that's already got their mind made up that gravity doesn't exist. The hell with them. We're not talking to those guys. We're talking to the people that might still have a question in their mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what these guys do. And they're really, really good at it. So, again, Tony, thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely my pleasure. You're always welcome on any stream that I run. As is Craig, and team, and everybody here. Craig, thank you very much for coming along.
Pleasure.
And
Thanks
for the opportunities that you gave me to to talk with us.
Like I said, it's a pleasure to have met you and to, I'm so happy that you are part of the community now. Mainly because, putting PhD versus Flat Earther is really friendly to the YouTube algorithm. So you're welcome on my channel whenever you want. But no, all you guys here, it's an absolute pleasure to be in the room with you. And Tony, just keep doing what you're doing and your channel will grow.
Thank you very much. And Catz, thank you. The first person to put me on YouTube. So this is all your fault in a very real sense.
Well, I don't know about that, but I've got to echo what FTFE has got to say. Your channel is going to grow very, very, very quickly. And honestly, if we're not doing like a 1K special in a month's time, then I'll eat my cat is what I'll do.
You'll eat your cat.
I'll eat my
Somebody clip that, please.
Yeah.
Somebody clip that, please.
And everyone unsubscribe from PhD Tony so we can make this happen.
Unsubscribe, everybody. Unsubscribe right now.
I just realized
I'm leaving
recipes for cats. So.
Yeah, MSG or no MSG? That's the only question I have for you.
I'm on it, team. I got it.
No, but seriously, you've done a great job. Thanks for inviting us on. You've done, you've landed in this community like a bloody earthquake. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows who you are already, and I think I'm just looking forward to the debates you're going to have and the proofs you're going to bring, the science you're going to bring, and I'm really looking forward to what's about to come.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff at the moment. On atmospheric physics, and I've been invited to. It's been suggested that I debate Kent Hovind about Noah's flood, and if I can, I'm going to bring that to agree to disagree. but we'll see how negotiations work out. And last but by no means least, I want a huge thank you to Tatty. Thank you so much, man, for stepping in and producing this.
Here.
Great. No worries, man. No worries, man. My absolute pleasure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to press buttons for you, my man. And when I see the caliber of guests you've got on here, I'm absolutely astounded. Granted, you've also got Team Skeptic on behind. We can't have it all. Well, we can.
I have no idea what he said.
Probably just as bloody well.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, mate. Keep doing whatever it is you're doing. Keep it up, because, dear Christ and God, you've got these boys running. You've got these boys running for the hills, and you're only going to get bigger, mate.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. You've reminded me of an anecdote that I'm just going to. We had a French master's student while I was doing my PhD. He was visiting the group, and they wanted somewhere where he could stay for a year. And my family was living in a big house at the time, and so we let him stay there. And we were seated on the couch one day watching Taggart, which is a Scottish detective series. And we got about half an hour into the episode of Taggart, and he's just gone, "Okay, are these guys even speaking English?" Hadn't understood a single word since the show started.
So I want to be honest about something. When I was maybe 24, 25, I had a fascination with English movies. Okay, I still do. I still think English cinema is better than American cinema. So, but I would watch movies where they would talk in this like really different English accent, and I couldn't understand them. So I would literally go back and watch it over the movies. I would watch them over and over and over again to try to understand that really fast broken English. And Taddy, you just proved that I learned shit doing that.
Oh, fantastic, man. Well, it's my absolute pleasure.
Right. When you come to Scotland, team, you'll just get confused. And why is everyone calling me Ken?
Aye.
Ken, I thought you were Charles.
And who's wearing the furry boots?
Aye.
Aye, furry boots Ken like.
So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you all so very much for coming on. I really feel appreciated as part of the community, and you guys here have done an enormous amount to make me feel welcome. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you moving forward, and continuing to put stupid back in its box. And again, a special shout out to the subs and the people in the chat. Thank you so much for turning up. Because again, you guys without you guys, this would be pointless. So thank you all. And with that, we might go into the outro. Taddy.
Oh, be careful,
Yep.
Team
Again,
Syria. He might fail your outro for you.
Again,
Yes.
with all credit to Doctor Who.
I'm PhD Tony, and I'm out.
I would not. That looks really difficult. Apparently, I wouldn't attempt it.
Yeah, try not to. You can hurt your back that way.
And on that note, cheerio, troops.